Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Vulnerability Time podcast. I am your host and PhD student and author, Josias Abriel, and it is good to be back, ain't it? Alrighty, folks. So, few things before we get the episode started. One, you are loved. Two, if you're subscribed on YouTube, that is beautiful. Stay subscribed on YouTube, but also subscribe on Apple or Spotify or another platform in addition, just because sometimes YouTube skips certain episodes and sometimes it doesn't. And it's really weird. I don't know how to fix that. It's on their end, not my end. So I don't know how to fix that. I reached out to someone. They should be working on it, but I don't want y'all to miss any episodes. It doesn't happen too often, but just in case, subscribe elsewhere. Last and third thing is go ahead and go on Spotify and Apple or YouTube and share the podcast and leave a review. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts if you can. It helps the algorithm. And just know that when you folks help the algorithm, you're also helping heal someone's life, save someone's life, encourage someone's life, uplift someone, help someone feel loved, all because you help the algorithm. So thank you folks for doing that. And with that being said, folks, enjoy the episode. Yes, okay. We love a pre-recorded intro, everyone. So Julie is back.
Hello.
Yay, we got Julie
Thank you for
back.
having me.
I was thinking about doing like a Julie journey. So where it's like all your episodes, I combine them into one and
Oh, that'd be dope.
release that. Yeah,
That sounds
but
fun, man.
but I don't know how to do that. There's a way I can do it, but that way is extremely difficult. But there's an easier
Yeah.
way that I must figure out, and I'll probably do that through YouTube and whatnot.
No worries.
Oh my gosh. So Julie, how have
Dude,
you been?
I've been okay, living life the best that we can in the world that we live in, right?
Yeah.
Do- um, scaling up. I don't know if the last time you and I talked if I had already been promoted by that point, but I got promoted. I'm a manager. Um, so
Yes.
that's great stuff. Pretty sure I have. Pretty sure I think I did. But yeah, I'm a manager now. Living life. Me and the girlfriend are
Yes.
about to finish out 1 year living together. We're gonna be,
Okay.
but we're gonna be moving out again to another place. So a lot of things are like a lot of moving parts in life. A lot of moving parts in life. A lot of things that I'm learning and realizing with adult life. It's kind of crazy.
Yes. And you just left, y'all just went to Japan, right?
We did, and it was amazing. Oh my god, it was amazing. But what's so funny is it's not funny, but it's like interesting is like whenever I come back home and I talk to people about my travels in Japan, uh people are like, "Oh my god, Japan is so like progressive, they're so this or so that.
Mm,
They have so many structures and things going on to where like they're way more innovative and progressive than we are here in the States." And I
mm-hmm,
kind of disagree.
mm,
Like when you go there, you think like, oh my God, like their technology is so advanced and they have
mm,
systems that are very efficient, like their transportation. But then like societal norms of the working culture, the
yeah.
like sexism there is
Mm-hmm,
very real.
mm-hmm.
And that's part that people don't really like talk about.
Right.
But like I go, it's like every country has its like, you know,
Right. Areas
ups
of
and
growth.
downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
true. I hear all those things as well, like all those great things. I didn't know about the sexism though.
oh, it's
Um
yes, it's real. Like I've gotten
yeah.
I got my shoulder bumped a few times by a few guys. My
Mm.
girl has gotten her shoulder bumped like on purpose. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
actually. Very surprising.
Yeah, and I know different cultures have their versions of sexism.
Hmm.
For example, like we have it here in the US and things like
Hmm.
that, but it may look different than somewhere else or it may
Oh
not.
yeah.
So I thought that that was really interesting. But yes, I heard about the the work culture as
Oh yeah.
well.
Not that much different than here, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
So I think it's so beautiful seeing, where you can. So folks listening, just because it's probably going to take me a minute to try to figure out how to do the Julie journey saga thingy. But Julie, for those who are new, hello. Glad
Hi,
to have y'all here. And so Julie has been a special guest since the beginning of the podcast.
let's
She
go.
was on the All-Star season. She was highly requested. I mean, I was already going to have her on the All-Star season anyway, but she's highly requested. Um, so Julie has came so far, and you will hear that better and see that better, listening to their episodes all the way from season one, season two, and so on. So you can find Julie's episodes, because it'll say, um, um, the episode title with Julie. So
Heck yeah.
folks, please do that. I'm telling you, you'll get inspired, healed, encouraged.
I hope so.
Um, yes, yes.
I hope so.
So, someone actually told me that your episode saved your life.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Dang, really?
You did that.
Dude, thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. I with my nieces and nephews are getting older, right? Um, and they're starting to learn more about growing up, I
Hmm.
guess. I think my oldest is 10, 11. I'm such a bad aunt. 10, 11. um, and like seeing her grow up and seeing my niece and nephews grow up and like trying to teach them and show them the life that I wish I had. Not to say that I'm not grateful for the things that I had. All the great things that I had, I'm grateful for.
Mm,
The things that weren't so great, I am also grateful for because it grew me to the person that I am now. Um,
yes.
but I'm trying to show them a life that like was different, I guess to say, like not to feel ashamed of being nerdy or
Mm,
whatever nerdy is to
right,
people, right?
right, right.
Or just being comfortable and talking, um, vulnerable with people, with
Yes.
adults especially,
Hmm.
and kind of not treating them like children in a way,
Right,
like treat them as like little mini adults, but like
right,
with
right,
with their own autonomy and agency and stuff like that. Still protect them like children, and
right.
treat them like kids, but not like kids, if that makes sense.
Right. No, no, that
Um,
makes perfect sense. I don't know how to
yeah.
better verbalize that either,
Yeah, yeah.
but no,
But
I
you get
I
what I'm trying to
completely
say.
agree. Yes, 1000% because
Yeah.
we treat, at least I've seen, folks treat children as like less than and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's a lot of things that we
Yeah.
can learn from children. For example, like if we need to work on patience, having a
Yeah.
kid can that can help.
Oh yeah. What's so funny is I like seeing like I'm sure you've seen it like our peer group that has grown
Mhm.
up. A lot of them are having kids and then
Mhm.
it's so wild to see like man like I knew you back in high school and you weren't any kind of like this. You weren't like this. Your personality wasn't like that. Obviously people have changed. We have to give people room to change. But
Mhm.
it's just interesting seeing the people like everyone's growth and kind of like where
Yeah.
they're at. It's really interesting to see like where they're growing and how
Yeah.
they're taking like this new life that's in their hands in a whole nother direction.
Right. Uh,
Super cool.
Right? Oh my
It's
God.
super cool.
Right. It's very surreal. Before we get to our topic, are you going to the high school reunion?
I think so. I haven't
Me and Julie went to high school together, folks. That's why I
yeah.
just asked that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I haven't put the date on my calendar yet, but I know it's like in October, I think,
I
right?
think so. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think I'll be going. Oh,
Oh,
I'll see.
okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see
Well, let me know how it goes. I'm not going, but you let me know how it goes.
if I go.
Yes, if you go, if you go.
If I go. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, yes. Okay, so Julie, what are we talking about today?
Honestly, I was kind of going like the direction of like where life is kind of taking me right now. Funny enough, I actually just had my last therapy session yesterday. Not last, but like my most recent one
Right.
yesterday. And it was just kind of something that's been sitting with me for a little while. So I was like, I figure I'll just talk about it. Um, like with boundaries and stuff like
Boundaries in
that.
relationships, romantic
Yeah,
and platonic, etc.
yeah, etc. I recently had a I'll say incident. Not gonna talk about work and all that stuff, but it happened at work. Where a um I'm not gonna go into whole details, but
Mm-hmm.
basically the conversation kind of went of like I needed to leave early so I could spend time
Mm-hmm.
with some family. I was told, hey, like you gotta run so and so, you gotta run your peers lunch first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a coworker going, well, hey, hold on. You know, sometimes Julie doesn't take a full lunch. She'll, like she'll take calls and answer and still work while she's on lunch. So why can't that person do the same thing? Nothing against this person. This person has nothing to do with the situation. My boss tells me, like you just gotta be fair, things like that. We gotta be the change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go, absolutely, no problem. I understand. Um, the boundaries that I see is that I guess it's kind of inconsistency. Is like I need to be fair, but other people don't get to be fair. And
Mm-hmm.
something that I learned, I talked with my therapist yesterday. Funny enough, was like one, it wasn't right. We're just going to validate your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. But two, where are you in this? Like you kind of just go okay, and you kind of move on. Um, but like in a way, you perpetuate your own problems, I guess you could say,
Mm-hmm.
of like I don't appreciate when people are being unfair. But then when I get treated unfairly, I'm kind of like stagnant.
Right.
And so just something that I've been trying to work on is like creating boundaries with not just work, but also like people and like people pleasing tendencies. Me and my partner actually talked about it recently about that, like, you know, like people pleasing and like not really speaking up because we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to be either the bigger person
Right.
or we don't want to have conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Something that like I don't know, I kind of struggle with, and I think I'm still working on of like
Yeah,
being able
me
to
too.
speak up. I've gotten better. I've
Yeah.
gotten better, I think. But being able to call people out on like their bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and just kind of being the outlier, I guess you could so
Mm-hmm.
you could say. Excuse me. Oh my god, excuse me, I just had lunch. Um, but yeah, at my job, I get a lot of people that they only because I say my job because I'm there like 90% of my day.
Mm-hmm.
But at my job, I get a lot of people that are like, oh, like, well, like it's not really commonplace to say that out loud. And I go,
Mm-hmm.
well, why is that my problem? I'm going to
Right.
speak up for myself.
Right. Right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I kind of translated that to like my relationships too. Not that me and my partner like have like falling outs and things like that, but a lot of like I don't want her to see her feelings hurt, or I don't want
Mm-hmm.
her to be upset. So I will be okay with like subpar treatment on my end, which is
Mm-hmm.
not fair to me or her, because
Mm-hmm.
then you kind of rob that person of an opportunity to grow. I don't
And
know. I don't know what you think about what you think about that.
oh, 1000%. I had that same issue, not the same, but that principle that you just stated about, not communicating, how that can rob, it's not fair to both parties.
Right.
Um I had a roommate who didn't communicate things with me,
Mm.
but they but like talked behind my back, right?
Oh,
And
dang.
I'm like, they communicated it behind my back, and I'm like,
Mm.
um, that robbed me from, because the last thing I wanted to do is cause any problems. So that
Right.
robbed me from being able to fix things, being able to stop things, um, and it creates frustration on their end when they're just holding all this in. So
Right.
I'm like, it's not fair to both parties. Communication is a
For
two-way,
sure.
it's a multi-way street, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, but I also like, and so I had told my second roommate in the past, not anymore, but
Mhm.
second roommate in the past, like, yeah, like that's not, fair to me, so, but apparently he told me that the other roommate recognizes his wrongs and stuff like that. And I was like, okay,
And kind
well,
of moved on. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, well, okay, good, because communication it's important. But something I wanted to mention, that learning boundaries is a process, and communication can be a process, right? Like
Oh
learning
yeah.
learning when to communicate, learning like how to communicate. Like you can say the words, the perfect words, but what about the tone? Which
A
tone
hundred
should you?
percent.
Yes, so
A
I
hundred
loved what
percent.
you said when you said you've gotten better at communicating, but still have, areas of growth. Same with me as
For sure.
well. Yeah, no, so I love that you talked about that process, right? And that
Yeah.
progress. Mhm.
What's interesting is like funny enough, I ended up having the conversation with the person that,
Mhm.
I guess initially we had like that drift.
Mhm.
Um, Ended up having the conversation with that person to kind of like hash things out. And, and what frustrated me was like I had held it in, right? And to like, and I've not just this, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people when we all get frustrated,
Mm.
we always have like that one moment that like almost like is like the cataclysmic event that caused a
Right.
meltdown or whatever,
Mhm.
right? Like, it's never like the one thing. It's
Right.
always like the buildup up until that one moment, and then that
Uh-huh.
moment is just your breaking point.
Yeah.
So like in this conversation, and like I was trying to give myself grace. My therapist helped me remind myself to give myself grace, which is great. I love her so much. Um, but in this conversation that I had, I was sharing my frustrations about feeling undervalued and unappreciative, or unappreciated, excuse me. And I started to cry, not because I was sad, but
Mm.
because I was so frustrated. And
Right.
my therapist had like pointed out something super great, which I think you've seen the book, The Body Keeps the Score. And I think I've talked about it
Yes.
a long time ago.
Mhm.
I always reference that book. It's just a great book.
Great book.
Even like to this day, like my employees that come up to me and they start talking to me about life, I always recommend that book.
Mhm.
It's a hefty book, but it's a great one.
Right.
Um,
Very
but it,
eye-opening.
yeah, and she kind of reminded me of like, hey, like, you know, your frustration, you didn't know where to place it. So you've held it in and held it in and held it in, and your body physiologically had nowhere else to let it out
Mhm.
but in tears. So
Right.
you may not have been sad as to why you were crying,
Mhm.
but your frustrations were building up so much that you just couldn't hold it anymore. So when you finally spoke about it, your body had to have a physical release. I just thought that was really interesting. That like I was like, man, like I'm so upset at myself for crying in front of somebody that I just didn't wanna cry in front of, for lack of a better
Mm.
way of saying it, because
Right. I know
I'm
what
gonna
you
stay
mean.
respectful, but,
Right, right.
um, I didn't wanna cry in front of that person, and I cried, and I was so upset at
Mhm.
myself afterwards of like, "Ugh, why did I have to fucking cry? Like, why did I have
Mhm.
to freaking cry?" But I afterwards, I talked down, I was just like, "You know what? Like, this is just part of the process. This is where I have to grow as a person of being comfortable having those really hard
Mhm.
conversations." Even though I feel like I'm okay with already having it, I think being comfortable even having harder conversations with people that you
Mhm.
just maybe aren't comfortable with 100%, that
Mhm.
will really help you develop as a person.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll lead me to not cry when I'm mad.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I I like I like that your therapist mentioned that. Is it the same therapist from
Oh
when you
yeah.
first came on the show? Oh,
Yeah, she's
we
great.
love
Love
her.
her.
We love
Yeah,
her.
she's
Um,
great.
yes, so I'm glad that she mentioned that because the body, anything that is stacked on, it will release some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what, like, when people just randomly cry, it's like maybe the body's taking on things that it didn't know. It could be even small things that just accumulated, but it can
Oh
grow.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, yes. So I wish in K through 12, which I'm not a fan of K through 12 schooling anymore. I think it
Uh
was more
yeah.
indoctrination, not education, because they,
I 1000% agree. I think
yeah,
especially right now,
exactly.
don't even get me started about the AI, the indoctrination of
Right,
children and
right.
religion, separation of church and state. Like I could go on and on and
Right,
on and on about
right.
it.
No, I feel you. We see each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yes. So I wish that there were classes there to help long term, like skills, communication skills class,
Oh yeah.
right? Like
I funny enough,
how to do
so
taxes.
oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so my partner, I think you know, my partner's a therapist also. She works with kids. She's a yeah, my partner's a yeah, my partner's a therapist. She works with kids. She loves her kiddos, and
Yeah.
every time I hear her come home and like talk about what she did for the kids or
Mm-hmm.
programs that she ran for the kids, I'm just like, man, like I wish we had something like that for kids now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you could be a parent that's a no iPad, no tablet, kiddo parent, whatever. But I think with like the way we're bringing your children in the school system now, it just like it doesn't teach them anything. They learn some socialization, all the stuff, obviously
Right,
being
right,
together.
right.
But I think having a program like teaching them emotional intelligence and
Yeah.
like self control,
Mm-hmm.
like it'll take these kids so far, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so hard to see. Like my nieces and nephews are like the biggest examples of this. Like I have two sets of kids where
Mm-hmm.
they're or a set of kids that they're super non-tablet, and if they do have a tablet it's controlled by the parent and when they
Yeah.
watch how long they watch it for and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the other set of kids where there's really not much like I won't say policing, but or like limited time, and more of a controlled environment where there's limited time to for the tablet.
Right.
And you see those kids come and interact with each other, and you see such a vast difference, dude. Like
Yeah.
tablet kids are so like addicted to satisfaction and like
Mm-hmm.
wants and needs and all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's so scary because
Yeah.
then like these will be our future doctors and stuff, man. Like
Yeah.
they got no patience. It's
You
scary.
know, there is a lawsuit going on. I don't know against who, but it's about I think it was the iPhone or a tablet, something. Folks listening, someone's got to know. Someone's got to know. Um, about how it damages the child's brain and is addictive.
Oh heck yeah.
And so there is now science coming out about it saying, kids who have been on, I think it was a study on elementary to middle school kids. I also am not sure, but it
That
was
sounds about right.
kids, right? They're more depressed than
Yeah.
those without excessive phone usage. So
Yeah.
I like what you said because, like, as technology evolves, we're not running away from it, and we're not, we're definitely not limiting
Oh
um,
no.
anything, right?
For
So it's
sure.
just like having these classes to help teach communication skills, to teach to do taxes, to teach emotional intelligence, things that we can things that they can take for the rest of their life.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I'm not saying don't teach algebra, but what I am saying is like I have not used, touched, looked, or thought about algebra since high
Absolutely
school.
not,
Like,
girl.
yeah, like that does not come beneficial in my life
Hmm.
long term. Like, what skills from algebra am I going to be using to
Oh
help me
yeah.
throughout life?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I think like the basic arithmetic is great. Algebra is okay. I think algebra is okay. I think I don't know if you remember in like school where they like let us choose an elective or whatever. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like we should get a mandatory elective, which would have been like the one of three, like whether it's learning how to do your taxes,
Yeah. Life
um,
skills, a life
life
skills
skills,
elective.
a life skills elective, exactly. And
Mm,
then you choose another one that you are interested in, like whether it's
yeah.
art, band, whatever. Um, I just like, or just replace arithmetic altogether and replace it with learning how to do your taxes or learning what the hell insurance is. Because even as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
girl, insurance is so confusing sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And they're
And
greedy.
like, it's a scam. But it is a scam. I got into a car accident and like my choices were either you file your insurance and you're even though it wasn't my fault,
Mm,
you pay more, or you hound the other person's insurance and you got to pay everything out of pocket yourself to fix your car. It's just a scam. Insurance is such a scam.
yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But just showing like teaching kids like literacy in things
Right.
like taxes, insurance, how to buy a car,
Right.
um, how to buy a house,
Yeah.
how do mortgages work. Like that
Right.
would free us so much, I think, as a
Yeah.
society. Uh,
1000%. And I
yeah.
think I don't think I know that folks in power to do that, they know, but they don't want that thing, because the
Mm,
K through 12 school system was started to create workers. It wasn't started to create free thinkers and
mm-hmm.
independence.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was to be it was created for obedience, to have workers, and
Oh
let me
yeah.
not get in too far on that, but the the thing that I was wanting to say, because I can go on and on about that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
girl.
right, you and me both.
Mm.
So I was watching a um live courtroom hearings the other day. I guess because that's the criminal justice background in me. For folks
Hey.
who don't know, my background was criminal justice, so undergrad and masters. But and I love the judge, Judge Stephanie Boyd. Amazing.
Hey, awesome.
Um, right? So, as one of the conditions for probation, sometimes she would set that um, the offender, would have to take a life skills course.
Oh, that's dope.
And I think that that is so beautiful. Why, when they're an adult, why not when they're kids, right? Like, because
Agreed.
she had a point. Like, not everyone is taught these things. Not everyone knows that these things need to be taught, or not, because
For
it's not a
sure.
part of their own norm when they were
For
growing
sure.
up. So, right. And so it's like you said, like things things can get better. Things really
It's
could. Like,
it's so, I guess, eye opening to see. Like my biggest I think examples of how like that would be so useful. There's like my parents and my partner's parents,
mhm,
and kind of hearing their lives and kind of like where they came up from gives you
mhm.
perspective, obviously, of like where they were whenever they were raising us, right?
Right, right.
Um, but also just like kind of seeing how everything starts when you're a child
Yeah.
and it only gets
Mhm.
bigger as you grow older.
Mhm.
So like things that you learn as a child, I think everyone knows this, right? But it's so hard to like put in perspective sometimes when at the end of the day, like, you know, on the inside of me is little Julie, and the inside of you is little Josias, right? Like you, like it's just little versions of us on the inside that are we're just now bigger people. Where
Yeah.
basically what I'm going with this is like my mom, for example,
Mhm.
like where she will kind of have conversations about her mom, my grandma,
Yeah.
and lack of like boundaries of like, hey, like I think you're not talking that great to me, or you're kind of treating me like crap. Um,
Yeah.
you know, and funny enough, she's actually came up to me and was like, like your grandma is not being very nice, but I can't say anything because she's my mom.
Right, right.
And I'm like, well, that's not something that like should happen. You should speak up for yourself. Speak from, better easier said than done. I'm speaking for myself also,
Mm.
right? Like you can speak up for yourself. But um like she's like, well, we weren't taught that as kids.
Mm.
We were taught to be the quiet little kid
Right.
that had got good grades and didn't speak up. And I go, that's so funny because I was also raised to be the quiet little kid to get good grades and to not speak up.
Mhm.
Um, and there wasn't much of a conversation there because after that, it kind of like diverted into multitude of different things because
Mhm.
accountability is kind of hard for some people.
Right,
Um,
right,
but
right.
I think when we all get older, or as we get older, like everything that we grew up knowing in our younger years ends up just evolving into something even bigger when you're an adult,
Mhm.
and it's so important. That's why when I see kids behave certain ways and I see habits and traits that I'm like that that's going to transform into something
Exactly.
either
Mhm.
yeah, either dangerous or great. It just
Right,
depends.
right.
on how he flourishes. So it's just it's interesting to me,
Yeah.
kind of seeing it unfold in front of my eyes.
Kids are more, I think of it like this, because this is psychology, biology, science.
Oh
But I'm
yeah,
just gonna put it in a more um, symbolic way. So think of it like a sponge. It soaks up.
right.
It can soak up. As we get older, that
Mm-hmm.
sponge can start to feel like a brick. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
not impossible, but hard, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
the older, it can be hard. So what I'm saying is like what you said, it's like what we learn early on does stick. It does stick.
Oh yeah.
Kids are sponge. They are literally soaking in their environment as the body's natural way of survival, right? And so they're constantly learning whether we think they are or not, and
Mm-hmm.
so, right, it's like for example, like they say if you're going to learn a second language, the earlier you learn, the better.
Oh yeah, much better.
Like learn as a kid. Kids can learn
Yeah.
another language easier than an adult.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
It's and like for my partner, so me and my partner kind of have a very similar characteristic of people pleasing, just in different ways,
Mhm.
right? Like for her, she'll like for me, I have a really hard time saying no.
Mhm.
Um, like I could be stretched thin. I feel
Mhm.
like Spider-Man, where like I'm holding both sides of the
Yeah.
boat together.
Yeah.
And someone says, "Hey, I really need help with this. Do you have time?" And I'll just say, "Yep, I'll make time." "Oh, are you sure? You sure if you don't have time?" "Nope, nope, I'll make time."
Yeah.
When I know myself it's gonna be really hard to make time, I'll do it
Mhm.
anyway. And
Yeah.
my partner tries to hype me up. She goes, "Look, that's just you having a good heart. But
Mhm.
you got to be careful with how far you stretch yourself because if you're overextending, you're not going to have the energy for the people that really
Mhm.
matter the most, right? Like your loved ones, your friends, your family, um, or even the people at like my job. My employees are important to me, right? Like I actually treat them like maybe not like family because that's kind of a cross and boundary I think for me,
Mhm. Mhm.
but just like people. I have a really big heart for people.
Yeah.
So when I see people struggling, even if I 100% am not like understanding of what they're going through,
Mhm.
I try to put myself in their shoes, and so I'll extend myself in a certain way to like see that they need help, and I'll try to help them as best I can.
Mhm.
Um, but for my partner, for her, it's kind of similar and like a struggling to say no,
Mhm.
but more so it's like more so for her family of like she sees them like struggling, and or if she sees someone struggling, she will extend herself to
Mhm.
go help, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if someone's asking her to do a multitude of things, she'll struggle to say no, I don't have the time, or no,
Mhm.
I just don't have that bandwidth, corporate speak, right? I don't have the
Mhm.
bandwidth to do this right
Mhm.
now. And like for all my people pleasers out there, like like I said, I've gotten better at it. I'm not perfect, I think, but being able to say like I would love to, but I just can't.
Right.
Um,
Right.
it will lift up so much weight off of your
Mhm.
shoulders, I think.
Yeah.
Um, like recently, I've been having a lot of shoulder pain because my massage therapist is like, "You hold a lot of stress in your shoulders, huh?" And I'm like,
Mm.
"Girl, yes, I do."
Yeah. Like
Um,
you have no
but
idea.
I
Yeah.
you have no idea, man. But whenever like again back to the mind body thing, it's like when I'm able to tell someone, "Hey, I would love to do this, this weekend or whatever, but I don't have the time to. I can't.
Mhm.
I'm sorry." You almost feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders, like a
Mhm.
physical weight,
Mhm.
and it's revitalizing, I think.
Yeah.
In the era of being able to tell people no, it's hard. It's hard.
Mhm.
I think like I said, I still struggle with it, but I think it's rejuvenating being able to tell someone, "Hey, unfortunately, I don't have the time, or I can't help
Mhm.
you," or
Mhm.
"No, I'm not in the position to do that right now.
Mhm.
Um, sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah, struggling to not say sorry too is
Yeah.
also there for me, when I don't need to say sorry, but that's a whole other thing.
Right. And that's the thing. I love that. I encourage the word no. Like I tell like my friends, I'm like, if you need to say no to me, say no. I encourage it. That is a beautiful word. I was like, if you
Mhm.
gotta use it, use it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because not only do I want folks to communicate, I also got to make sure I create a space where they feel
for
safe
them.
enough to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now,
Thousand
sometimes you can
percent.
do that in the third and they still not communicate. That's on them.
Absolutely.
Right. Um, but you know what I told my therapist the other day? I said, therapist, I said, communication is my strongest skill, but it is my kryptonite as well. Because I'm like, if someone doesn't want to communicate or doesn't know how to, that affects me.
Yeah, because it's also like a part of me is like it's not my job to teach you, but like again, how do like I can't rob you of the opportunity to grow.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of like, which situation does that apply to? Which situation does the latter apply to? It's kind of like that. And
Right.
so it's always that
Yeah.
process, that journey.
That's basically kind of what I've also talked about with my therapist of like, it's
Mhm,
so hard. Like, again, I'm at work 90% of my day, but this applies to any relationship with people in general, whether it's friends, families, et cetera, et cetera. Of like being able to tell someone, like, communicate in the best way you possibly can of how you feel or where you're at and things like that. And hoping that that person takes your hand also and communicates as well. But then when they don't, or they don't know how to, just like you said, it's like, well, do I take this moment to show you?
mhm,
But then if I show you, I almost feel like I take away their sense of agency and autonomy. But what if? But then, like so many moving parts in my brain, where it's like, do I help them in a
mhm,
direction, or do I let them figure on their own? And but then if they have to figure on their own, obviously there's going to be some hiccups, and then it
mhm,
affects me at the end of the day. So it's like where am I okay with falling short at? Am I okay with falling short on my end, or am I okay with falling
mhm,
short on their end? It's a bit of a
mhm.
struggle. Um,
Right.
I think especially in the workplace, for me, mainly, like I said, in the workplace of like telling people like, hey, this is what I'm
Mhm,
working with, this is what I can do for you, this is
mhm.
what I can't do for you.
Right.
Um, but then there goes that fall short of like either lack thereof communication or very minimal communication. And then it kind of goes into a cycle of like, well, how many times do we have to keep doing this song and dance
Mhm.
for the song to reach your ears? You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I think? Tell me what you think about this. So I I'll speak for me, but I think it's this way with um our society in general, is that we're taught to be good, but we're not taught to be whole.
Mm,
So,
okay.
you know, for example, have you heard, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, that can be, yeah, like don't bully people. Don't say like awful, awful, awful things,
Of course.
to people. But I feel like that can also translate to, at least for me, that this is the part where I'll just talk about myself, that translated to, if it will, hurt the other person's feelings, don't say it. When sometimes communication does it, but it doesn't mean say, "Oh, I hate you, you're ugly." No, it just says, "Hey, like,
Yeah.
this really affected me, and in this way." And then some people, they are good with accountability, and so they'll feel guilty, and you don't want them to feel guilty. So no,
Yeah.
just don't say it. Kind of like
Yeah.
kind of like that, right? But this is where I think teaching a communication skills, life skills course, or having that available for children to take in school
Heck
come
yeah.
in handy, because you and I, we're on our journey with it, right?
Girl.
If
Yep.
they installed that course, so many kids will be ahead of you and I. in that regard.
100%, dude. You know, it'll help. It'll help with like partnerships. Me and my girl, like we when we have conversations, there's been so many times where I've refrained from saying something um, that I feel like would probably hurt her feelings, but at the end, I know it would alleviate some stress off of myself and then eventually her in the future, and vice versa.
Because
She's
growth
probably
growth doesn't feel good all the time. Growth
it does
can hurt,
not. And it's
right?
hard. It's so
Mm-hmm.
hard. But like
Right.
being able to step out of that, like I
Mm-hmm.
guess you ever seen SpongeBob with the circle
Yeah.
and the bear, the
Yes.
bear fish or whatever it's called.
Yes.
I think of myself as like I'm scared to step out of the circle and the bear is right there.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to be in it with the bear.
Right.
Like you just got to be in it with the bear and you got to learn.
Right.
And it's really hard
Yeah.
not hurting people's feelings, even though you know, like whether it's good for you or not. It's
Right.
and sometimes not robbing somebody of the opportunity to grow
Right.
is gonna,
Right. Exactly. So what
yeah.
we're getting at is folks is communication can be simple, but it can also be complex
Hmm.
as well. You each situation can be different. Is it worth it to try to communicate?
I think so.
I would say yeah, yeah, right? I would say yeah
I think
because it's
so.
just like, you know, it's kind of like trial and error. Do it and learn. What something that I've done in the past is after I have communicated, if let's say if they were a close friend, I asked them, give me feedback.
Hmm.
How was the tone? How was this?
Yeah.
How was that? Because I see kind of like humans, we can be like vehicles. No matter how big the mirrors are, there can still be blind spots. So it will
Yeah, for
take
sure.
someone else. Right. I'm telling
For
you, I've
sure.
driven before and there was an 18-wheeler in my blind spot.
Jeez. Gotta
Just
be careful on them streets.
switched lanes. And I was like, where did that come from? So that's why literally because of that moment, I was like, I use my mirrors and I do a quick look
Mm.
back,
I sure
with
do.
my own eyes. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah,
Especially in
because
Houston. I don't know you don't live in Houston anymore, but like
I move everywhere. I'm in Seattle right now,
I
but
know I see it. It looks
especially in
beautiful.
Houston. Oh, Seattle is amazing. I do miss
Hmm.
Texas. I love I think Texas is the greatest state ever, and that's because I'm biased because I'm from Texas.
We would be
Um,
so much greater though, you
I
know?
know what you mean. I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Hey,
Yeah, girl.
I actually, I'm gonna tell you something after we hang up the call though, because I actually have some words of hope for you. Um, but when I tell you Seattle, I'm loving it. I was like, because everywhere else that I've lived, for grad school and just for summer vacation, I decided to
Hmm.
move and go live somewhere for the rest of the summer. S- So I did not think that Southern hospitality would exist outside of the South. Now, Seattle's not a Southern
Oh, really?
hospitality, but they are nice. Now, I'm like, wow.
That's funny because that's not what I 100% experienced when I went to Seattle.
Uh-huh.
I want to go back. Don't get me wrong. I really want to go
Right,
back. It's a
right.
beautiful place.
But we can tell
Um,
a difference because we're from the
yeah.
South. When I went to California, Portland, and where's that other place? Indiana.
Indiana,
Yeah, Southern, like
they don't got that.
they were nice in
Yeah.
Indiana, but it was not no Southern hospitality at all. Portland and California, oh my gosh, that was definitely like to me that was mean, but to them that was normal.
Mm,
But
mm.
I'm from the South. The Southern we
Yeah,
know it,
I
Julie.
what's so funny is that when I went to Portland, we went
Hmm.
to a coffee shop and I come in 7 o'clock in the morning ready to go for a hike. And I go, good morning. And they go, what do you want? Like,
Yeah, we
I'm like, well, good morning to
right,
you, madam.
right, right.
It's
Like,
it's different. It's a different culture. Cause yeah.
right. Yeah, that's also the thing that yeah, that's a whole other. But I can go from. That was
Hmm.
go. Oh, frozen. But can you still? Oh, okay, I'm not
All right,
frozen
there you go.
anymore.
You're good.
But yeah. Sorry, I had plugged
Yeah.
in my charger because this laptop was trying to die on me.
Oh no.
I don't want that happening.
Mm-mm.
But
No siree.
yes, Julie. To you and me, when we go to somewhere else, we can tell the the cultural difference
Oh yeah,
in regards to niceness. So
for sure.
yes. Um,
For sure.
Okay, Julie. Well, any final thoughts before we close out?
No, I just like I said, my people pleasing folks out there, just think of yourself like SpongeBob in the circle. Step out, face the bear,
Yes.
face the bear.
Yes.
Just be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Something that I work on every single day is being used to being uncomfortable.
Yes. Yes.
And I think kind of like
Because
what you
there's a
said before.
difference. There's a difference
Yes,
between uncomfort and unsafe. Uncomfort is
yes,
not always the comfort's not really the bad guy. Now,
yeah.
uncomfort can go in unsafety, but unsafety does not always go in uncomfort.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. 100%. I think being able to ask for feedback, what you said is great.
Hmm.
Like being okay with asking from feedback for people will get you comfortable being uncomfortable because
Yes.
not everybody wants to hear feedback, whether it's good or
Mm.
bad.
Right.
And practicing asking, hey, like, well, how did you feel whenever I said this? Or hey, like, what do you think about this interaction we just had? Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it? I think that will help us as a society,
Yeah.
especially for my people pleasing folks out there that
Yeah.
like just be comfortable being uncomfortable, not unsafe, but just
Right.
being open to
Mm.
new possibilities and hearing feedback from other people and learning ways to step out of that comfort zone.
Yes. Because communication, at least
It's
in my
hard.
life, has prolonged so many relationships. And not even just that, but also the relationship with self.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Because at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, no one's got your back more than you do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Julie, and I mean this with every bone in my body, you are so loved. And
Likewise, man. You get yours. That's you.
thank you for coming back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Hopefully, we can do this again
You know
sometime
this
soon.
won't be the last time. This
Oh
definitely won't
yeah.
be the last time, Julie.
Heck yeah.
When I do especially when I do the second All-Star season, Julie will definitely be back.
Let's go, buddy.
Trying to figure out when should I do the second All-Star season. Uh,
You let me know
It's actually a
whenever works for you.
lot of stress contacting, getting um
Oh no.
just because like phone numbers changed and emails stopped working, this,
Yep.
that, or so it
Mm,
all worked out, but yes, okay, Julie, we'll be back. But Julie, you stay on. I gotta tell you something for like 2 minutes. But
you
okay,
good.
folks, this has been another episode of Vulnerability Time. Host Josiah Sabriel and PhD student finally.
Period. Congratulations.
Thank you. Y'all know that was my dream, and so
And here we are.
2024, I started being a PhD student, and I turned in my comp exam, my first comp exam today, folks. So wish me
Yay.
literally all the luck, because that thing tried to take me out. Okay, love y'all.
Bye,
Mm.
guys.